There's a happy coincidence between the first reading of the gospel today as we see that David has the ability and the capacity to deal with his enemy Saul once and for all, and yet he doesn't do it. And that coincides with Jesus telling us to love our enemies. That's very hard to get our mind around, because we know that those who harm us, those who are our enemies, in fact, stir up in us emotions of wanting to have vengeance, of having revenge. But Jesus gives us an idea of the great gift of love that is ours. Love is something that is given to us not only to love those who are in our circle, our family, but when in fact we love others outside of our family, even those who are our enemy, something changes in us. We discover a new capacity of love. I see that so often when I see families coming together in soup kitchens and food pantries to hand out food to the poor. The children who are participating in that come away not only with an ability to love beyond their family, but it enhances how they relate within their own family. There's also an important aspect of love that we should not overlook. It's not a zero-sum game, as though we are going to run out of the capacity of love if we love someone else. That surely, I think, is something that we see time and again, that ability to be able to love in a way that enhances how we love others. And finally, love does change other people. It has the capacity to do that. That's why so often I go back and meditate on that wonderful scene from Les Miserables, where the bishop who forgives Jean Valjean, even though he steals from him. And when the police come to report him back, the bishop says, no, I gave him all of these things, and I wanted him to have more. Jean Valjean's life changes because of that love. Love has a capacity to change people's hearts. And so it's important for us to keep in mind that Jesus reveals to us a capacity that we have, an infinite capacity to love, because love is of God. God is love, as we say. And so as we celebrate the Eucharist here today, we're given a vivid reminder every time that we celebrate the Mass of that capacity for love in our lives. Just think, we are brought to the cross of Jesus, where this love is on full display. We see it in the moment in which Jesus says to his beloved disciple, "Here is your mother," and to his mother, "Here is your son." He loves in a way the whole world by saving the world on the cross, and yet thinks of his own mother at that moment, that it is not a matter of loving the world in a way that's going to take away from his family, but rather that his family is enhanced. Their love is enhanced when in fact he loves the whole world. And so too, as blood and water flow from his side, when he's totally dead, it shows his capacity to love even then. For that blood and water that flow from his side is what the early church fathers said created the church. He gives his all, even in death. And finally, we know how that crucifixion scene changed the lives of so many people. There is that centurion who says, truly this was the Son of God. That centurion in church history, church legend, is called Longinus. Longinus was the one who, in fact, said those words according to the tradition. And his statue is in St. Peter's, is one of the 4 statues that are around the altar of St. Peter. It's a signal, once again, a reminder how love can change people and make a difference in the world. So today, let us examine in our lives how love can be that force in our lives where we never run out of it, where we never shortchange our family by loving outside and loving our enemy, but also that there's the promise that we love in a way that changes the world.